Hello, all the uneducated commenters here. Inflation and why you should be worried about it. This is a kind of different video to what I'm used to doing, but it's an important subject, and I want people to understand what's going on and be prepared. I'm all about preempting what's going to happen rather than reacting to what's going to happen. I think there's two different people in this world. There's people that react, something happens, they think, oh my god, I gotta do X, Y, and Z. And there's people like myself that will think ahead, try to work out what's going on and put measures in place so I don't have to react. I've preempted and I've done things about it. And that's what I'm doing with inflation. About 6 months ago, maybe longer now, I said to my partner, whenever we go shopping, I want to buy extra. I want to buy more, and I want to just put the little bit extra we buy away, non-perishable stuff, because I think prices are going to start to go up. I think there's going to be a shortage, and I think we're going to suffer, and I don't want to suffer. I don't want my standard of living to go down. So if we get in the habit of buying more over a long period of time and just storing it, we've got it. If we need it, great. If we don't need it, great. We're still going to use it anyway. It's a win-win. So 6 months ago, we started to do that, and we've been building things up, and we've got a nice supply of stuff that should supermarkets run out, we're not worried. Now, we've already seen, guess what? Supermarkets with empty shelves. Now we're seeing fights in petrol garages. Now, I don't have to worry about that. My car's electric, so it doesn't, from a personal selfish point of view, I feel quite smug. It doesn't quite bother me really, but there is a shortage of petrol. There's a big demand for petrol. What's going to happen? Prices are going to go up. Now, you've got to, if you read the news, and if you read the news, watch the news, read the papers, whatever, and you listen to people talking about inflation, you've probably heard the word transitory. Now, people talk about inflation being transitory, and it kind of just poo-poos inflation. It's just here for a little while, it'll go away. I don't think so. I think it's here to stay. I think with the amount of money that's been printed over the last year, I read yesterday that 40% of all the US dollars in circulation, was printed last year. 40%. That's how much extra money they printed. Now, when you've got that much money coming into the economy, and that money is chasing the same goods and services, that pushes prices up. It's not going to push prices down. So that means everything we buy is going to start to get more expensive. I've got a web page open here, and I was reading it. It's what made me want to do this video. And I was looking at Costco, because Costco is a huge wholesale place that supplies people all over the country, and they've got their fingers on the pulse. They know what's going on. It's their business. They're a massive business, so they're going to be forecasting forward. They're going to know what's going to come in down the line. They're not going to react to something. They're going to know. Now, in Costco, it says in Costco, inflation is running between 3.5% and 4.5%. They said that paper products are up 4 to 8%, and shortages of some plastic and pet items have pushed prices up from 5 to 11%. And Costco announced on the 27th of September that it's going to limit customer purchases of toilet paper and cleaning products. And I was looking at Nike as well, and it says Nike plans to raise products this year due to additional transportation, logistics, and air freight costs to move in inventory. So what that's basically saying is all of our prices are going up. If big companies like this that are supplying us can't keep prices down and are having to put prices up because their costs are going up, because there's a shortage, they have to pass that on to us as consumers. So everything we buy is going to get a lot more expensive. Now, if you listen, then you will note that in some cases we're talking about an 11% hike. 11% is a lot of money. If you've got money in the bank and you're getting 0% interest on that money, you're losing 11%. Your purchasing power is going down. You're buying less. You can't get what you got for your pound now as opposed to this time 6 months ago. It's costing you more, or you're buying less if you get it in the same price. So you and I have to think, how can we make more than 11% from our money? How can we earn more money? How can we increase our business? How can we become more profitable? And this is the worrying thing, because there has been a lot of money printed and stimulus is ending soon. Now, with companies looking to make cost cuts to keep their prices low and keep themselves competitive, one of the first things they're going to do is cut labour. So they're going to make redundancies. So if you've got a job at the moment, you need to be worried and you need to be thinking about, how can you create value and how can you make sure you're not one of those people who are made redundant. You know, if you're in employment, you need to be looking at ways you can create value for your company, for your boss, and upskill yourself and be worthwhile, not just be the everyday person who no one knows and will get cut, because there's going to be employment cuts coming. That's always a surefire way of companies retaining profitability. They'll cut staff, they'll ask the existing staff to do more, and they'll get rid of the dead weight to reduce their overheads. If you've got a business, you've got to be looking at that as well. You know, who can you cut? Who can you take out of your payroll to enable you to carry on and be competitive? Because there's only so much you can pass on to your customers' price hike way and stay competitive. So if you're not looking at cutting your costs, you're going to have problems. But as a consumer as well, we've got to be looking at, how can we earn more from our money? With the money we're making, how can we make it work harder for us? So I see that in many ways. I see that in, as I did 6 or 7 months ago, me just going out there and buying goods and buying a little bit extra every time, because I'm buying at prices that were back 6 or 7 months ago. So I've bought non-perishable stuff that's not really going to go off quickly at a cheaper price. So I've got more for my money in today's standards. I look at physical metals, gold, silver. I look at them as a store of wealth, because typically when inflation comes, they will go up in value and they will protect my purchasing power. Gold and silver is the only real, well, it's not the only real, they call it God's money. Or if you've ever listened to Robert Kiyosaki, very famous entrepreneur, he calls it God's money. He says it's the only real store of wealth, because it's been around for thousands of years. It's been in demand for thousands of years. We've traded in gold and silver for thousands of years. It's a true store of wealth. It is real money. A pound note, or we don't have pound notes anymore, a pound coin or a £10 note only actually has value because the government says it has value. Actually, if you look at a £10 note, all it says on there is, I promise to pay you. It's not backed by anything. In the 70s and before 1971, it used to be backed by gold. So your £10 note was backed by the equivalent amount of gold in a bank. It's not anymore. It's just a digit on a computer screen. It's made up. It's worthless. It's just there because people say it's valuable. If the government turned around tomorrow and said monopoly money is valuable now, we're using monopoly money, that would have the wealth, not the £10 note. So I look at things that, if everything goes to if everything goes to pot, if everything goes pop and everything ends, if I've got physical gold, if I've got physical silver and I can touch it and hold it, then I know I've still got wealth in my pocket. So if a bank goes bust and I lose the money I've got in the bank, or the whole financial system collapse, which is a possibility, if my money is not in that bank, it's in gold and silver, I'm protected. If my money is in property, I'm kind of protected. I don't buy property so much at the moment because I do see interest rates going up, and when interest rates go up, I think the housing bubble that we're in will end. So I don't see property as a fantastic investment at the moment. Could be in the future, but at the moment I'm not in it. I look at Bitcoin and I look at Ethereum because I see these digital currencies as another store of value, something that will go up way more than the 11% inflation. So I'd encourage people to look at Bitcoin, look at Ethereum, look at cryptocurrencies. I'm not giving you financial advice here. I want to be very clear on that. I'm just giving you my take on how the economy is going and how you can protect yourself against inflation and what you can look at to make sure you get your money making more than the 11%, or hopefully get your money making more than 11%. Now, with cryptocurrencies, it's a very, very volatile market. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. It's very, very manipulated, and you have to be, in my opinion, in it for the long run. You have to get into it if you believe in it, and you believe in 5, 10, 15 years, the crypto you buy will be worth a lot more than what you buy it for today, because it's the future. I believe it's the future, and I buy it and I hold it. I don't trade it. I don't look at buying low and selling high and making profits, because I find that it is volatile and it is up and down. It's very, very hard to be consistent in making profits, and most traders who I know absolutely lose money all the time. It's only a very, very small amount that make money. But I use it as a hedge. I use it as a way of protecting my wealth. So again, if the banks go under, if the government dips into our bank accounts and steals our money, as they did in Cyprus in 2008, 2009, whenever it was, we're protected. We've got our money in a external, decentralized crypto wallet where it can't be touched. So I look at gold, silver, crypto, sometimes property. I look at things that are going to give me a return of above 11%. I look at my business. I look at putting money that I've got into my account, my bank accounts, back into my business to try and build it up and bring more cash in. And I think people, if you're listening to this, start looking into inflation, start looking at the way prices are going, and just take a look around. I mean, I'm not an economist. I'm the uneducated businessman. I look at it from a very simple point of view. I look at it on the shelves in the supermarkets. I go in and I see shelves empty. So there's less goods, and there's the same people chasing those goods. It's only pushing the price up. I buy flowers for my partner every week. You know, I'm used to getting a bunch this size. I'm now getting a bunch this size. It's the same price. So you might think, well, it hasn't gone up in price, but I'm getting half of what I got for the same price. That's inflation. So I look at it on a very raw level, and I'm seeing I'm getting a lot less for my money, or I'm having to pay a lot more to get what I was getting because everything is going up. I don't see it as transitory. I see these prices here to stay for a long time. I see them getting higher and higher. When Costco start putting prices up, when Nike start putting prices up, you know it's not going to end well. Christmas, look at Christmas as well. Christmas could be an absolute nightmare this year. If there's a driver shortage, if there's a fuel shortage, if there's a supply shortage, you're not going to get what you want to get. And if you wait to Christmas, you're going to be paying a lot more for your Christmas presents than maybe what you could do now. I'm seriously looking at doing my Christmas shopping now, and that is I've never done it like that. I'm a Christmas Eve shopper. I'm a man. I'm the guy that leaves it to the last minute and rushes around and gets things and wraps it up that evening and puts it under the tree. I'm that unorganised when it comes to Christmas. But I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, why not? Why not start buying it now? Because the prices, okay, they're higher than they was a year ago, but I'm sure they're going to be less than what they are come Christmas, because they know, the shops know at that particular time, we're going to be in a frenzy. We're not going to want to let our friends and families down. We're going to want to buy things. If there's a shortage, they're going to charge whatever they want because they've got a captive audience. So prepare. Don't be reactive. Don't wait for this stuff to happen. Start planning now. Start buying a little bit extra every time you shop. Start looking at your Christmas presents. Start looking at the money you've got in the bank and what you can use that money for to buy to give you a better return than at least 11%, at least 11%. Because if you're not getting that, you're losing money all the time. And just think about it, please. Just don't turn this video off and do nothing. Just even if you want to just shoot me a message, Put in the comments, ask me some questions. I'll help you with it. I'll give you my take on things, because I think this is a serious concern. I think things are getting very, very tough, very, very hard. I'm very, very worried about it. I'm doing everything possible to protect my family, and I think you should too. So I hope that was useful. It's a different kind of video today. I hope you got something out of that. I hope it sparks you to at least start going out there and looking at your money and seeing what you can do with it to get a better return, and start, I'm not saying panic buying, but going out there and buying a little bit extra all the time, and saving certain things to put you in good stead should the worst happen. And guess what? Even if the worst doesn't happen, even if I'm completely wrong, you still got the goods, you still got the items, you still bought them, you're still going to use them anyway. So what's the harm in planning ahead a little bit? Hope that was useful. I'm the uneducated economist. I'll be back soon with another video. Over and out.